Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Sportsman's Warehouse and the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. We talk outdoors every Saturday morning here on ESPN 790 in Memphis and 92.9 FM, HD FM. Of course, all you good folks out in Brownsville, 1520 AM and 95.3 FM, and, of course, News Talk 101.5 in Jackson. An event that I attended last year when one of our favorite people here, Gene Smith, the man of puns, Mr. Gene Smith, won an award last year and was honored over at the Tennessee Wildlife Federation's, at that time, 54th Annual Conservation Achievement Awards. Well, they're coming back again. It's May 15th, the 55th Annual, and we've got the man on the line with us, can tell us all about the categories and when the entries close, and that's our good friend Mike Butler. He is the Executive Director for the Tennessee Wildlife Federation. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Larry. How you doing?
Anything that's 55 years old sounds young to me, but I know it's old. But tell our listeners the importance of this event that you have every year.
Well, if you really think about it, Larry, conservation and the conservation movement is about people, and it's about what people are doing that collectively can make a difference. And so what we really like to do is recognize those individuals, organizations, and businesses that have made conservation of our natural resources and our wildlife a priority. And so we have several different categories, about 18, I think, all in total, maybe a couple more, where we try to identify people that have gone beyond the regular call of duty in their jobs or in their volunteerism to really be special in how they've helped make sure that our natural resources and wildlife are healthy and can be enjoyed by future generations. Because what we have today isn't an accident. It was the intentional work of conservationists from generations that came before us that have resulted in what we have today. And we need to continue to recognize these people for their work so that we can spur that movement along.
Well, it's the state's longest standing exclusive conservation awards. You can't get much better than that. And I think about over the years, some of the people that have been receiving these awards, and you guys do it like a Academy Awards by being there and attending for Gene last year. You recognize them, have their picture up there and everything like that. And the thing about this thing is you open this for people to nominate people, right?
We do. We open it to people in the public to nominate folks that they may know, or an organization or a business that has done something remarkable in the field of conservation. So we encourage people to send us nominations. We do ask that they provide us details and a justification for why they think the nominee is worthy of the award. We also provide in our announcement the description of the awards on our website so that you can actually see, okay, well, this person may fit there. Yeah. They may fit here. They may fit more than one category because of what they were doing. And
the entries, it'll come up on you before long. The closing, you can do it right now, folks, at TNWF. That's TNWF.org/CAA. And the entries close when, Mike?
I believe mid-March.
Okay, March 6th. March 6th. March 6th. I got it here. I see it here. March 6th. Yes, so you have time, folks out there, and I can sit here and I can think. And then last year I was here. Dr. Slose was there. A lot of people, some of the biggest names in conservation. And then I really like what Kendall McCarter said. He's your Chief Development Officer for the Federation. The differences among our winners over the last half-century shows that successful conservation depends on a diverse and collaborative effort.
I think that's exactly right. Here's what I find interesting, Larry, and this is why I think these awards and the ceremony we have are so enjoyable. In a time in which our country is very divided, there are very few people that cannot unite around conservation.
That's right.
And our natural resources. It is a shared experience that holds a great value to a lot of people in our state. And so we like to see this as an opportunity to bring together people from all kinds of different backgrounds to really focus on this thing that in this age we can agree on.
Yes,
and that's important.
And I think it's a celebration too, as you say, the state's natural resources, from senators to volunteers.
That's right.
I mean, you don't have to be a wealthy guy to win this award, one of these awards. You don't have to be a millionaire. You can be the common person. It's how much effort, and I'm imagining that this is not an easy process for you guys once the nominations come in.
No, it isn't. We have a committee that's set up of people that are from within our organization, and we recruit people that are experts from other fields and outside of our organizations, and they sit on a committee and they make those selections. And, sometimes we have one nominee for in a category, but more often than not, we have multiple nominees, and you get into – it gets difficult to say who's –
Yeah. I can imagine the conversations going around when you have, say, 5 organizations or 5 people, and they all have done a great job. I mean, to be nominated in itself is an honor, but the coming up with the winners has got to be I don't want to be on your committee. Okay, all right. I'm just I put that out there for it. Now, where is it going to be this year, Mike? I know because last year it was that behind the restaurant there that everybody knows. That
famous Loveless Cafe.
That's right. So where we
beginning of the Natchez Trace.
Is that where it's going to be this year too?
It'll be in the barn, which is their event center.
Wonderful.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice, well done barn.
Yes.
And they have great. The food is great. The food is fantastic. And
we don't want to mention food now here because we get hungry early here. But
they make a mean fried chicken, and
they do, don't they?
And so it's good Southern cooking, but it's also located right there at the beginning of the Natchez Trace, which is kind of fitting, given that that's such a scenic drive and the type of work that we're trying to honor that day.
Well, the barn is usually open. You can see outside. It's a wonderful event. So tell them again now. It's March the 6th, and where do they need to go?
The deadline for nominations is March 6th.
Okay, so where do they go to nominate? Go
to tnwf.org. That's Tango November Whiskey Foxtrot.org.
Okay, sound like a military term or something. Hey, Mike, thank you, buddy. Always good to talk to you again, folks. TNWF.org. I know there's some great folks in the Memphis area, Brownsville and Jackson, that listen to the show every Saturday. Get that name out there. I know our man Gene Smith was really honored last year. Thanks, Mike. We'll talk to you. Okay, man?
Thank you, Larry. Anytime. Appreciate
All right,
it.
buddy. All right, Mike Butler, Tennessee Wildlife Federation. I get those on those 2 minutes. I didn't know what he was saying about whiskey or something in there, but it is TNWF. We got our good friend Dave Gabbert sitting in with is helping me with my regular interpreter, Frank Barton. And Frank, I was noticing, and we're going to throw this in there because Frank, longtime friend, that you have some sales going on now. Can we mention those on the air?
Well, I think you just did.
I think I just did. Sales on a slingshot.
We do because we have a new model coming out.
When's it coming out?
2020 model got introduced. Actually, it got introduced day before yesterday.
So have you seen it?
I saw it back in the summer.
Is it much change, or is it basically the same cool looking?
It's completely different.
What?
70% of it's different.
70%.
Yeah, it's got a new motor, and it's got an automatic. They call it an auto drive transmission, but it's an automatic transmission. So for the folks that don't like, that don't know how to drive a manual transmission and don't want to fool with it.
Yeah. The stick shift. Shelby knows how to drive a stick shift.
Push button transmission.
Yeah, push button transmission. Oh, I remember those.
Yeah, which is not,
Are you serious? It's got a push button transmission?
Push button transmission.
Just like the old Oldsmobiles?
Like the old Plymouths.
The old Plymouths and things like that. So you have the 2019s on sale?
We have 2019s. Yeah, they're up to, there's $4,000
that's what I saw.
Rebate on some of them right now.
So when will the new ones show up in the showroom, you think?
We won't see those probably for a couple of months.
Couple of months. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay.
We have a waiting list.
I've got a question for Frank.
You raised your hand.
Yeah.
He's got a
I
question
raised
for
my
you,
hand,
Frank.
yes.
Yeah, he's good at raising his hand.
I thought, since the advent of, machines like the slingshots and stuff, have you seen an increase for the more mature riders, looking for these?
Frank's laughing.
I
love to see Frank laugh.
Right. Well,
he doesn't care what they look like.
The demographics for the slingshots,
yes,
are not really the 20-year-olds.
Okay,
They are the more mature people.
Yeah,
mature people.
So
John Morant does not have a slingshot.
It's we don't sell them to folks that have little children. Most of our customers for slingshots are folks that their children are grown and out of the way, and not out of the nest,
be great for
out of the way.
It'd be great for you to get one for your 12-year-old grandson.
And so
it's the ones that don't feel comfortable and
a lot of
afraid
folks,
what they look like with a pair of training wheels on an Indian motorcycle.
Right. A lot of people. We have people that were have been riding two wheels, with their motorcycles, and they don't feel comfortable anymore.
I like just sitting in it. I can't wait to see the new ones in. 70% changes.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, let's take a break, then we're coming back, and we're going to Texas. We're going to talk predators. We can hook up with this guy, probably the world's #1 predator hunter, Byron South. He's next on Outdoors with Larry.